habari zenu, horo wanyu, como estas, morgen, konnichiwa, to all of my people, whether you're a returning subby or a new subby. I really appreciate all of you. It is me again, Kenyan Hippie, back with another video, and today I wasn't gonna make this actually. It's an experience I have been having quite often lately, where I find myself at loggerheads with my fellow Africans because we disagree on very ideological things. I am gonna get into a topic which is, I'm freeballing this. I'm sorry if it's all over the place a little bit, but I had to say something about an experience I've been having lately, especially with fellow, Africans, or I don't know, Kenyans, but we don't agree on the same things. We're not ideologically aligned. It brings me back to this whole all skin folk ain't kin folk thing, which it's always been applied to me by, dark-skinned Americans, reminding me how I am not one of them, because I'm not racist, or I don't gatekeep culture, or I don't speak ghetto, and I don't have vitriol and victimhood mentality. I'm not afraid of the cops, and I'm conservative, and I voted for Trump. It's how they remind me skin folk ain't kin folk, as if it's supposed to be an insult. In this instance, I'm gonna apply it directly to fellow Kenyans. Okay, the very first time I clashed with my fellow Kenyans, I'm only putting quotations, not because it's not true or they're not fellow Kenyans, it's because I don't feel like one of them anymore. Okay, the same way certain, if the conservative and moderate and sensible dark-skinned Americans don't want to be identified and clumped with the other people, causing ghetto fatigue. Same thing with me. I do not want to be clumped up with Kenyans who believe in Pan-Africanism and are liberals and the woke ideologies and all that crap. And every single day it feels even lonelier. It feels more lonely than the next, because the more I wake up and see things for what they really are, the more I realize not a lot of people see it. And it's so frustrating to be going through that. It's a very lonely road to walk when you're that self-aware, and not just self-aware, but aware of your surroundings, and aware of the world, aware of the new world order, aware of Marxism and neo-Marxism, the woke virus. You are essentially, it's almost like you exist on your own, except for those people you have met along the way, whose eyes have opened up, they've taken the red pill and they see things for what they are. You feel alone. Multiple instances I can go into. The first one is when Lupita Nyong'o, who, as you people know, she was born in Mexico, but she's a Kenyan citizen, and she just gained her American citizenship not long ago. And she posted this video on Instagram, on her Instagram, and she said how, I'm just looking for advice. I'll play the video here for you.
I have never voted, not because I haven't wanted to, but because I've never been eligible. It's the first time that I'm going to be able to vote. And I can't believe I get to vote for a black woman!
Lupita wetu nyako. One thing I should advise you on, I won't tell you who to vote for. I'm going to ask you, please don't make the first mistake a lot of immigrants seem to make and get played by the Democrats. They are not about minorities, darling. Oi, it's a song they sing to grasp you. Eh? Democrats are the party of identity politics, and you've fallen right into it. I almost voted Democrat. I was registered to vote Democrat. COVID and during BLM riots, I woke them up. Thanks to people like Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro, Larry Elder, I woke up. I remember that little thing Biden said,
if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It made me feel like nothing but a color. And then I went back in time and I saw they've been doing that for a while. Democrats have been the party of color since 1800s. But to the wise, it's not the flex you think it is. Which of Kamala's policies do you like? Are you voting for? Or have you been convinced? Do your homework. As a fellow Kenyan American, I am concerned.
So obviously she's excited because she's voting for the first American woman president. And I'm just like, so she asked for advice. I gave her advice. This is what I said. And you would not believe the amount of hate, the amount of hateful comments I got under that comment. If anyone, I should have been the one saying something to her. As a Kenyan who has lived in America, as a Kenyan who's also an American, as a proud dual citizen, as someone who's a former Democrat, I am in literally the perfect place to tell her exactly what the Democrat Party is about. But that's how they reacted. And I do not believe for 1 second Lupita did not see my comment. Allegedly. I hear that's what YouTubers say. To cover yourself legally. There's no way she did not see my comment. She just chose to ignore it. What surprised me the most is the amount of hate I got under that. I got hate from everywhere. From fellow Africans in the diaspora, from fellow Africans in Africa, from chocolate Americans, black activists, everyone. Probably even white saviors were in there. I was not exactly doing a demographic check. Every now and then I'd look at the profile and I knew who they were. Some even insulted me in some African language as if I'm supposed to understand it. FYI, Africa has 54 countries, and each country has a number of tribes and a number of languages. There are over 1,500 languages spoken on the continent. Okay, I'm from Kenya. I speak Kikuyu, Swahili, and English. I do not understand this language, but I knew they were insulting me. You just know when someone is insulting you, even if you don't understand what they're saying. Okay, so that surprised me so much. When it came to the illegal immigration thing, which is a very huge pillar of Trump's campaign, and it's a huge reason why I voted for him, because as a legal immigrant, let me tell you all, the amount of saltiness I hold in my heart toward illegals, it cannot be it cannot be explained. Okay, because you look at these people and you're like, I came legally, I paid so much money. You guys, I don't even want to count. It's between $9,000 and $10,000 spent total. I'm talking about medical tests, hiring an American attorney to help me with the tax crap, because my ex-husband is just, okay. It was a whole process. Then I'm made to sign some paperwork that says you are signing this paperwork to say you will not become a dependent of the state. And the American government will not have to take care of you financially, medically, or whatever the case may be, right? That's part of the condition you're given as a legal resident, as a green card holder. Okay, so explain to me how I should be okay with the fact that there are people just living under the radar, came in through the fence, metaphorically speaking, but they're here the wrong way. But I should be okay with that because I'm also an immigrant. Therefore, we are the same. No. Okay. But because I fight that so much, I had Kenyans insulting me for it. Like, oh, would you actually call ICE on a fellow Kenyan? I said, I don't actually know any fellow Kenyan who's illegal, I don't live in that kind of area. And you know what, for the first time in my life, I'm actually glad I don't live around fellow Kenyans. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I've had the amount of drama that happens there, and the amount of competition, and it's just bad spirit. I hate. I'm not a collectivist. I don't have to be around people who are from my country to feel safe. I want to fit into other places. I want to explore the world. I don't want to limit my little universe. But that's a story for that's another story altogether. But the point is, I went in so there was a video of a Kenyan getting deported. Or being caught, I guess. The ICE agents were outside his house. They were saying, hey, Mr. So-and-so, you've been busted, basically. And it sounded like Kenyans were actually snitching on other Kenyans. And so that's how this came about. And I commented on the video because the person who posted this video was a renowned Kenyan radio station, And their caption read, is it jealousy that makes people call ICE on each other? And I commented, this is all I said. I said, it's not necessarily jealousy. However, it's not fair for someone to be here illegally when you're legal and you're paying taxes as a taxpayer. That's not fair. That's all I said. And I got, again, as expected, I got a lot of hate. And it's just like, why are you so triggered by facts? Just because I have a different outlook than you doesn't mean I'm your enemy. You just don't want to hear. You don't want to hear through your bias. So you think I should just bundle up with y'all because I'm Kenyan? No, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. I'm not doing it. I don't care if I have 0 friends who are Kenyan. If this is what it means to bundle up, I am not going to have a group mentality and a hive mentality for the sake of fitting in and being liked and being accepted. On to another one. Another example is there's this YouTuber. I will not mention her name, but every time I see her content, actually, you know what? I'm lying. A few of her videos were, decent, depending on the topic. On the topic of marriage and overcoming challenges in marriage. That's very relatable across the board, no matter what side of the aisle you sit on, right? She's a Kenyan based in Kenya. But I have noticed lately, most of the videos that come up on my feed are videos of her interviewing, oppressed people, oppressed Americans who left America because it's racist. I couldn't even finish watching one of her videos. Hopefully I didn't mess up her algorithm for her, but I could not stomach it. I was getting visibly irritated. I listen to podcasts when I'm working out in the gym. I don't listen to music. That's a weird thing. I get distracted. I listen to podcasts a lot, or my audiobooks. And every time I want to comment, but I know my comment is going to it's going to ruffle feathers, right? Because again, I have lived here long enough. I know about the victim mentality. I know about how the Democrats play victim. They scream it's racist. Oh, America is this, America is racist, but they never really leave. So I absolutely honor those who actually leave. And actually, you make good on your word and you actually leave the country. Because if you hate it here, then go. Just like Tom McDonald, if you don't like it, leave. Right? If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. OG Tom McDonald is the GOAT. You all go listen to him if you've not yet. I'm a huge fan. So I have a certain level of respect, not really respect. I don't know what word to use for people who make do on their whole America is racist, I'm moving, and they actually move. Okay? But like I said, on this lady's podcast, there seems to be a lot of left-leaning ideologies, and that's all she shows. So the other video I saw a little bit of, just from the thumbnail, I decided not to watch the video from the thumbnail. Thank God for thumbnails. I was like, And they're talking about, look at how evil Trump is humiliating President of South Africa. You mean how he held him accountable? You mean how he showed him receipts in 4K, full HD, high definition in front of the whole world? Yeah, that's how you should phrase that. And then from what I got from the video, from the little I saw, basically they are mocking the South African refugees. Because they are white refugees, they possibly cannot be refugees because they're the oppressors living in South Africa. Have you guys not seen the white ghetto? Have you not seen it? You people really think affirmative action is the solution to racism? You think the solution to apartheid is more racism? You think the solution to apartheid and the hate that was spread during that time is to segregate people? You think the solution to apartheid is socialism and Marxism and Pan-Africanism, which is also Marxism? That's the content she shows. Then what I could not shut up about, because you guys know I tried to be quiet, but I couldn't, okay? Today I saw a video where she's interviewing, this lady who she's Ethiopian ethnicity, and she was living in Germany for a very long time. I think she was born in Germany. And she moved, but then she didn't move to Ethiopia, she moved to Kenya. I don't know what the reasons were. You don't need reasons, I'm just curious. And essentially, the interview is talking about, racism in Germany. I was like, here we go. I'm not saying there wasn't any. I'm not saying that, especially back then, But I'm saying you choose whether you're going to be a victim or a victor. It is absolutely, totally up to you. But moving to another country because it's too racist where you're living, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Maybe I'm just made differently. Maybe I'm built differently. But that to me screams victimhood. And this same lady, ironically, I'm subscribed to her channel as well. And because the first thing that drew me to her channel was I've been really getting a lot of African diaspora, people in the African diaspora moving, either relocating to the African countries or investing. So I'm very curious because I eventually want to build a home in Kenya where I can live half the year. Because obviously my kiddos choose to continue living in America. I want to be here half the time and be there half the time. So I'm curious to see where people are buying their wares. What are the places you suggest living? Just informational purposes. But then one of the videos I came across by this lady, this person who left Germany and now lives somewhere in Nairobi, is she called out the FBAs. That's again, the FBAs are just a special breed of people. Okay, they're black supremacists, but on the right side, like they're nationalists. She covered them. I was very excited. I was like, this is the content I want to see. And then the next video after that was, oh, Pan-Africans. Oh, these white South Africans are the problem. I was so disappointed. I was like, I thought, sigh. Anyway, so this person happened to be on this other YouTuber's page where she interviews victims of their own making. So today I was like, I'm gonna comment. My brother lives in Germany with his wife, and he has not lived there too long. But my brother is the kind of person who's he's like me. He doesn't have victim mentality. He hustles. He's a go-getter. And my mom and him actually spoke, because they speak way more than we speak. My brother, okay, was saying, oh, I don't know, people are talking about racism in Germany. I've not faced any racism. Germans are just people who don't like to mingle with others, which I have heard before, because I am married, the descendant of a Wehrmacht. His grandpa was in the Wehrmacht and the Hitler Youth. So it's been a very, very interesting experience of learning Germany's history. And I'm also a World War II history buff. But knowing the atmosphere of Germany and hearing all the complaints we hear from the victims in Germany, it's very refreshing to hear my brother saying, I've not faced racism. Like, I don't know what you all are talking about. And it's such an interesting concept. So anyway, I felt the need to comment, because I said, hey, look, my brother lives in Germany and he does not face racism. So I'm just saying, you need to interview guests who are less liberal and Marxist. Maybe just put a new fresh perspective on your channel and talk to people who don't have victimhood mentality. And then she snapped on me, as expected, I suppose. This is a woman with whom I share a tribe. Because I've heard of tribalism. It's where you have the same tribes and people tend to stick together because all belong to the same tribe. I've compared tribalism to racism in America, and how the Democrats use the race card to separate people, especially the black activists, and pander to them so they can vote for them. The same way tribalism is used by politicians in Kenya to pander to the tribes. And it just struck me, like there are very few people in my life and in my real life I can say I align with. I'm not talking just on a political sphere, I'm talking in general, who are aware of what Marxism is, who are aware that Pan-Africanism is just a racist organization. Look at that fist. Look at the freaking Pan-African fist. Look at the Marxist fist. They're all the same. BLM fist. It's all about Marxism. And once I found that out, that's one of the reasons why I left the left. I tried to learn a lot of things, a lot of deeper meanings to things. And I was the girl who was having this up. I had a fist up during the BLM riots. I did not attend a riot. I know better. But I really thought it was a something that was fighting for something until I knew exactly what was going on. You have to go and scratch beneath the surface. But if people are not ready to have a conversation with you, they will lash out at you. They will shut you down. They will invalidate what you say. They will say, oh, how dare you, and you're a Kenyan. I was like, did you not see the part where I said I have faced racism from, black Americans who are on the left? Did you not see that part of the conversation? You're not ready to talk about that because to you, it cannot exist, because black people cannot be racist. There's no way they were racist toward me. They are the oppressed ones, right? I'm just guessing what was going through her mind. The main point of this rant is for me to say that it's been an eye-opener to see that I am, once you wake up and you see things for what they are, it's a pretty lonely life. Especially if you're thinking, oh, my people, my people, and by my people I mean in very huge quotation marks, because Kenyans are not my people. Kenyans with whom I'm aligned are my people, right? I don't care what skin tone you are, what religious background you come from, what ethnicity you are, what country you're from. I have created a family and a tribe of fellow Americans who do not look like me, who we align. Those are my people. That's my tribe. But expecting people of my tribe, literally the Kikuyu tribe, to be aligning with me when you can tell they are so deeply entrenched in the liberal woke ideologies, it's different. It's a different experience. But my point is that just stay strong, be the ugly duckling who doesn't fit in. Be the person who's a sore thumb among everyone else. Be the loud one who stands up for her convictions or his convictions, and you're not afraid to speak your mind. It doesn't mean go trolling people in the YouTube comment section. And to be honest, I don't consider that trolling. It's something I had to say. It was in my heart, and I have been meaning to say something, and I tried to be as polite as I possibly could. Maybe I could have improved how I stated it, but I had to say something. And for her to just do that as a rebuttal, this was her whole rebuttal. I was just like, that didn't say anything. It's like when I speak on American issues as an American, and then someone who's triggered in the comments, like this guy here, tells me to, mind my business and focus on Kenyan issues. And for those who've been watching my content long enough, I cover both. I may cover more American because I am here after all, but I do talk about Kenyan politics, and I compare them to American politics. People don't want to hear that, because what's the problem is that you triggered them. The message is the problem. It's not how it was delivered. It's not who delivered it. It's that they have to look at something they don't want to look at and not ready to look at. So I guess I could say my video was successful because this person got triggered, and that says my message was effective. So I guess thanks, my guy. Also, I would love to give a shout out to Greg. Greg is one of my, he is an amazing one. Greg has been there with me from, I think, when I started TikTok, like back in the days, probably 2021-ish. I joined in 2020, but I became super political and social political and controversial in the 2021 era. And thank you so much, Greg, for being there. Thank you for supporting me so much. Your support means the world to me. Everyone who's been on my journey, thank you so much for being there and for all the love and all the support. And again, if you found value in my video, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're a new person watching my videos, if you have already subscribed, make sure you hit the little notification bell. Make sure you like and comment and share. A comment could even be a little heart, you guys. Just a little heart emoji like that, just a little heart. Say, hey, what's up, girl? That would mean a lot to me. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And Hippie out.
Why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.